Two ministers who chose sex over Ghana mission. My brother, my sister, this is a very interesting story. Somewhere in the year 2020, there was a minister of national security. It means the security of the whole nation was put on his lap, like the golden stool was put on the laps of Osetutu the first. He was supposed to foresee the whole nation's security. He was called Albert Kan-Dapa. He himself was born in the Ashanti region. In fact, he went to school in Ghana and beyond, studying accounting, nothing else. All of a sudden, they gave him security of a whole big nation like Ghana, formerly called the Gold Coast. He accepted it, and he seemed to be doing well. A lot of respect. Then boom, somewhere in 2020, he made a mockery of himself. What did he do? He was sent on an international mission, paid for by the poor taxpayer of Ghana. We gathered all the money and gave to him to travel outside the country on a Ghana mission internationally. And when he arrived, we saw some videos that came out. The videos broke our hearts. Instead of concentrating on the mission, he went out looking for sex. My brother, my sister, at that time he was well over 60 years. As to how he still had this groove and libido on is for discussion another day. Albert Kan-Dapa, a young lady supposedly called him and they started to talk. He made a fool of our security. The old man was so analog minded. He was far torn apart from the digital world. He didn't know that he could be recorded. Maybe he trusted the young lady on the other side too much. So we saw him in this video with a young lady, probably young enough to be his granddaughter, ordering him to turn around. What are you wearing? Oh, I'm wearing a pajamas. Oh, what is the make? What is the brand? Oh, and he kept walking around and showing himself posing in front of the camera. Oh my God. And the sad thing is that he was late for a meeting that Ghana had sent him on. He wanted to get his libido in action. Sad still, he told the young lady on the other side, the other day you gave me a hug. You saw how I slept like a baby. Please, I'm waiting for that hug again. I wouldn't have had any problem with a man his age who wants to flaunt his libido. But the problem is that he was on a Ghana mission, paid for by the Ghanaian taxpayer. Come here! Watch the video. It is only 2 minutes. And listen to what ensued between Kan-Dapa and the young lady. Kan-Dapa who threw away the Ghana mission and latched on to his libidinous escapade. Watch this.
And come back.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And
You are
okay.
leaving tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow.
Okay.
So you'll be in Europe for how many days again? I
After
can see your
about-
face.
Because you've decided to take it off your screen.
Oh,
Up
okay.
to Tuesday, Wednesday.
Oh, okay. 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 What are you are you gonna miss me when you're on the flight?
Of course I am.
Okay.
Of course.
What
Of course.
what are you wearing now? Let me see.
I'm in the pajamas.
I only see your pajamas. I want to see the front, the back, like the way you did it yesterday. with a suit. Oh, it's nice. Nice pajamas. Turn around, let me see it. Is it trouser or shorts?
Trouser.
Let me see the length. Raise your leg. I can't see. Oh, okay, I see. Nice. Wow. What brand is that?
It says in my here.
Oh, okay, it's nice. Wow. You have good taste. Yeah. Yeah, I see.
I wish I could have hugged you.
Aww.
I did that day and it was so nice. It put me to sleep immediately.
A hug from me will put you to sleep, eh?
The last time you did to me, didn't it put me to sleep?
It did.
Mm-hmm.
Straight. It put you straight to sleep. What are you drinking?
Water.
Water. Okay. Okay. So, what's the time there?
9:24.
And what time is your meeting?
I'm going down at 10. I'm going to the bath now
Okay.
to have a bath with you.
Okay.
We're going to bath together.
Ish. Okay. That would be some serious bath. When you finish bathing, when you finish dressing up, are you going to call me for me to see what you're wearing? So I approve it.
Great. I'll do
Okay.
that.
All right. So I'll be waiting, babes.
I love you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
My brother, my sister, security of the nation at that point was thrown to the dogs. He was videoed. Sadly, it could happen to anyone. My problem is, on a Ghana mission, you are there asking for hugs, kisses, and taking a shower with a young lady. I wouldn't moralize it on him. But I'm sure when his wife saw this, she was brokenhearted with the 4 children sitting at home. This is a man who was so well respected. So when it came out like that, many were shocked. I'm sure he almost went into a certain form of depression. The president was called upon to do the needful, sack Kan-Dapa, but for a reason. The president himself decided not to sack Kan-Dapa. He left Kan-Dapa. A few months later, the president himself was caught on tape doing almost the same things that Kan-Dapa was supposed to be sacked for with another woman called Sewa Bruni. My brother, my sister, what is this thing about the Ghana mission that all of a sudden becomes a sex mission? What is this thing about us that makes us never to be disciplined? Dash him away and come here. Now Kan-Dapa is gone. He was minister until they lost power and he went away. My brother, my sister, number 2 is another guy called Richard Anane. Richard Anane's face became so synonymous with misbehavior, indiscipline, and carelessness. This guy here is a medical doctor. At the time that he got involved in this sex escapade, he had suspended practice. Now watch this. Richard Anane was born in Santasi, 1 year behind Kan-Dapa. So he is 71 right now. My brother, my sister, he served as the Minister of Health under J.A. Kufuor. He also served as the Minister of Roads under the same government. In 2001, listen attentively, 24 years ago, I was a student who had just come into Accra, and I heard all over in the news, the radios were blaring, the newspapers were screaming, the banner headlines, that Richard Anane had done something bad. It caught the attention of everybody. 2001, he went to Washington on the taxpayer's ticket. Ghanaians gathered and paid for this guy to go there and represent the country on an HIV/AIDS summit. At the time, AIDS was so mystified. If there was one man who had AIDS in this house, the whole area would become empty, to be like a ghost town. That was what it was at the time in 2001. Richard Anane enplaned on the Ghana Airways on the taxpayer's back and flew all the way to Washington on the AIDS mission. And then a young American woman saw him talking so eloquently and walked over to him, introduced herself as Alexandra O'Brien. This is the young lady. And then they started talking. She said, I want to do a project on HIV/AIDS in your country, Ghana. Can you support me? Instantly, he looked at her face and scanned her down to her hips, and probably he started imagining how it will feel, elongating his tentacles into her house. What happened? They started talking, and one thing led to the other. The minister, who was on an HIV/AIDS mission, highly libidinous, ready for action, could not forget the hard-on he had when he first met Alexandra O'Brien. He lured her into his room, VVIP, sponsored by the people of Ghana, and gave her a sweet doggy style, hot and rough, the Kumasi style. She never forgot that doggy style. She came back for more. He instantly wrote a contract on behalf of the people of Ghana worth so much money, arbitrarily, with no recourse to Parliament, no recourse to the President of Ghana, no recourse to the people of Ghana, and handed it over like a dictator, like a lawless cassava state, to the young Alexandra O'Brien. My brother, my sister, he had to return to Ghana. I'm sure if he had his own way, he would extend the ticket so he could enjoy more goodies in the bosom of an American woman. When he flew back to Ghana, bam! The lady called and said, you know what? What we did in Washington, something happened. I'm pregnant. Come here! The young lady became pregnant. He said, hush, I am married with children. I am a minister. I traveled all the way to America on an HIV/AIDS mission. Please, if this thing comes out, I am dead. I know how Ghanaians are. Keep it between us. He started sending money to this woman to the tune of 126,000 American dollars and more. We shall go into the details soon. My brother, my sister, the lady kept the pregnancy. He promised the lady that he was going to marry her. Probably told her that he was single or divorced or nearly divorcing, whatever it was. My brother, my sister, what happened next? The baby was born. sweet little boy. He said, oh, I'm a Christian. I would like to name him Nicholas, after Nicholas Duncan Williams. This is the photo of the child and mother. And Richard Anane was so excited that he had an Oyibo baby. Oh, my son, oh, my son, oh, my son. Anytime he called, according to Alexandra O'Brien, the little boy would run as he was growing up to the phone and say, Daddy Richard, Daddy Richard. He kept sending money. According to him, family members also sent money. One Osei Bonsu sent money to this woman, and one Kofi Ajenim Boateng, resident in Washington, sent so much money, tens of thousands of American dollars, 72,000 American dollars to this woman. Meanwhile, his own child, his own son, he sent only $5,000 in that period. How many understand this? Kofi Ajenim Boateng was a special assistant of Richard Anane, the sex champion. And you know what he did? He was sending money, according to journalists, money that was taken from Richard Anane, and you will soon get to understand why he did that, probably. The money was sent to the young lady through this guy and one Osei Bonsu. So Kofi Ajenim Boateng will wire the money to the young lady. And in that period, it amounted to 72,000 American dollars. Meanwhile, his own son, that he had almost abandoned, and child care people were chasing him, he had given only about $5,000. But somebody's mistress, he had been able to give up to 72,000 American dollars. My brother, my sister, Richard Anane, all of a sudden, Richard Anane stopped calling the woman. He revoked the contract because when he probably came to Ghana, President said, no, this is not tenable. If this goes to Parliament, they're going to throw it out because this is an American model which does not sit in Ghana. Richard, do the right thing. Meanwhile, Richard had promised the young lady that he was going to leave Ghana after leaving his family behind and his marriage to come and live with a young lady in the American city of Salt Lake, Utah, where doctors were paid so well. Salt Lake in Utah. So the young lady was full of excitement and hope, only for Richard to stop calling, and the contract was cancelled. It looked like her world had crumbled. Then she started to look for a journalist who could talk. Not knowing the journalist who could talk was also already looking for her. And they met. Who was this journalist? Come here! That journalist, my brother, my sister, is no other Raymond Archer. Raymond Archer at the time was working with the Chronicle, Ghana's biggest private newspaper. And when he listened to the lady and got the information, he put it out. Bam! And the whole Ghana started shaking. The Graphic also curled some aspects of the stories and published. Then Raymond Archer left the Chronicle and established his own Enquirer. And the story continued. The story was so heavy that he had to run all the way to Shraj. At that time, Emil Short had just moved out to continue his career in Rwanda. And there was one lady called Anna Bosman, 2004. The young Nicholas, named after Archbishop Duncan Williams, my brother, my sister, and the mother were left in oblivion. And they had to resort to the media. And Raymond Archer, the ace investigative journalist who had won the best journalist award in the whole sub-region, the youngest at the time, channeled this story through Shraj and met with Anna Bosman. A committee was set up immediately to investigate this. Hey, Kufuor was embarrassed to the core. The whole of the NPP embarrassed. Richard Anane kept denying. Then to one or two friends, it was just one, so he was singing Shaggy. It wasn't me. A medical doctor. And you know how the newspapers teased him? The health minister who went out without using condoms. Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that? Ex-minister of health forgets to use condom. They teased him. Many more headlines came out. My brother, my sister, in the media. Dr. Anane questioned on womanizing, corruption, and poor performance. This was later. Dash it out. Come here. Now, Shiraj from the committee sat on this issue. Raymond Archer went there and gave all the facts that he had, including receipts. They invited the woman all the way from America, paid her in and out to come. You know what? Richard Anane used to make this woman fly using Ghana Airways, lying that the woman was his wife. They were those who collapsed Ghana Airways. Oh, this is my family. This is my brother. My uncle's brothers, sisters, nieces, uncle's younger brother. And before you could decipher, you would go crazy and stamp. Bah. My wife. There was a time she had a ticket to fly on Ghana Airways. Oh, good old Ghana Airways. And she couldn't make it to Ghana. You know what she did? She went to the Ghana Airways office trying to sell back the ticket and take the money for her and her son, Nicholas. It was there that one of the most vigilant staff members saw the ticket and said, this is supposed to be a free ticket, which we issue to, this category of people, right? And it came out that the woman was denied any refund. All this got discussed at Shiraj. And Shiraj did everything possible to investigate it. At first, watch what happened. Richard Anane said that Shiraj did not have the capacity and the mandate, in fact, to investigate him. And he unleashed 6 lawyers on Shiraj as if to intimidate Shiraj. And a boss man said, lie. You can bring 100 lawyers. We will handle them. And they proved to Richard Anane that, hey, we can investigate you. When they did the investigation, they brought out a whole expose. I'm going to take you through this in just 2 minutes and we are done. Flip it. This is from Shiraj. After investigating Richard Anane and his sex capade on a Ghana mission. And look at it. This parts of it. In January and February 2025, and some time thereafter, the media, notably the Chronicle and the Daily Graphic, made various allegations of corruption and conflict of interest against Dr. Richard Anane, then minister designate for the post of Minister for Road Transport. That's after he left the health ministry. The media speculated about Honorable Dr. Richard Anane's relationship with one Alexandra O'Brien, also known as Alexandra Anane, an American who was believed to have entered into an agreement with the Ministry of Health to undertake an HIV/AIDS project in Ghana. The fallout of their relationship was alleged to have led to the project being aborted. thereby causing financial loss as well as missed opportunities to the nation. Some of the specific allegations contained in the media were as follows. 1. The Chronicle edition of Friday, January 28, 2025, 20 years ago, reported that Dr. Richard Anane, then minister designate, had denied the numerous transfers of 90,000 US dollars he did for the woman in the USA for her upkeep, but confessed giving her an amount of 10,000 and paying 51 million cedis for her accommodation. Dash it. It's a long thing, but I've taken my time to read through it and all that, so don't worry, man. My brother, my sister, anytime the lady came to Ghana, Richard Anane put her in 2 different hotels. Esther's Hotel. Do you know where Esther's Hotel is? This is the hotel. Hidden, quiet, so nobody would see. Look at the rooms. The American woman came with a child so that they would continue with the fun. Apart from this hotel, they were also at La Palm. Woo! All at the taxpayers' billing. You and I paid for this. Richard Anane denied everything. He said he only gave the woman 10,000. When they investigated him, they saw receipts to about at least 30,000 American dollars. He lied. This guy. He lied. And then his own friends and assistants loaded money on the woman. But he said, in fact, he didn't ask them to do that. They only did it on their own. At the time, he even told the woman, allegedly, that there was a certain kickback of 20,000 American dollars he was supposed to get from a contractor as a road minister. After getting the kickback, he will give the woman some. He denied it. He said the woman lied. When they investigated the whole story, they realized that Richard Anane had not been very truthful to them. Number 2, Richard Anane had abused his office as the health minister by signing contracts arbitrarily. That Richard Anane had not been truthful with the committee. And when his friends who were wiring money to the woman came in and they were asked, they tried to support him, but the committee found out that they also lied a lot and they couldn't trust any one of them. But they said they could trust the woman because everything she said was verified, even though the report said she was extra loquacious. As to what that word means, don't worry, man, we'll explain it. Come here. The report said the woman was extra loquacious. To break it down simply for your understanding, it means she was garrulous. She was a talkative. When they told her to talk for 5 minutes, she would talk for 50 minutes. Richard Anane was never punished in one way or the other. Ghana lost. Ghana suffered so much money in his traveling left, right, and center. Those that could be proven and those that could not be proven. My brother, my sister, he was a sex champion, Richard Anane. And today, the little boy who was only a few months old when he was visiting the father, my brother, my sister, is now 24 years old. 23, 24. Richard Anane's wife, Mercy Anane, stood by the husband as the average African woman would do, so that when you go back home, she would fight you. My brother, my sister, this was what Richard Anane did on the taxpayers' mission. Today, we decided that we would bring you 2 ministers who betrayed Ghana, latched on to sexual pleasures whilst on a Ghana mission. Never again. And both of them, my brother, my sister, belong to the sexiest party, the NPP. I hate it when I have to politicize some of these things. It doesn't mean the NDC doesn't do that, or CPP doesn't do that. Maybe they have not been caught yet. My brother, my sister, health minister, minister of defense, very key positions. If you can't close your zip at least whilst on a Ghana mission, then who are you? A junglist? Is the Black Port, aka Kokoshonamo, where we speak truth to power.